Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about what are the placements that makes a person psychic. I'm sorry, I'm outside and where I am at currently. This is the place where a cow is constantly, mowing. So if you hear that, it's okay. We'll let mother cow do that. Please ignore it because I have no other place to go now. And let's start the topic. Today's topic is, like you saw it in the title, what makes a person psychic. Okay, so and what is really being a psychic. So it's like, so being psychic is really a simple thing to understand. It's not something complicated. For instance, if you're a psychic person, then you're intuitive. You get to know what's going on in someone else's psyche. That's why the word psychic comes. And you must have heard of these things, like there's something called as psychic reading, and people do all of this stuff, like if you don't have your birth chart and all of it, but if you just meet any psychic, they're gonna reveal for you something or the other. Okay. A psychic need not necessarily be an astrologer or a tarot reader or whatever, but see, at least what I know, that tarot reading needs some psychic abilities. So that's one thing for sure. And sometimes you don't even need to be into occult, but still you are a psychic. Now, if I have to talk about how these psychic placements make a person drag into astrology or into occult, you'll get to know that through placements, that how it takes place. Because to be very honest, such natives, those who have these psychic conjunctions, is because of the conjunctions that they get dragged into occult, they get dragged into these subjects. Okay, I think she really needs something. So this is a cow, not boasting or anything. I feed her often. Maybe it's because she was not doing this earlier, but now that she has started doing all of a sudden this thing, I think she wants something from me. But unfortunately, at this point of time, I don't have anything to give it to her, and she's also staring at me equally. But we've got to continue now. I'll maybe come and feed her again. So next time. So talking about coming back. Okay, I need to change my camera placement because again I'm not able to open my eyes. Yeah, actually this makes more sense. So Rahu Moon makes the psychic conjunction. Rahu Sun Ketu makes a psychic conjunction. Venus Mars at times, depending upon the nakshatra, makes a psychic conjunction. Even the same goes for Venus and Mars, Venus and Moon. And Moon and Mars also make psychic conjunction, but Venus and Mars and Moon and Mars are not that really strong. Okay, these are conjunctions that have a lot to do with something else. Venus is a bhogi and Moon is a mind, so it becomes like a bhogi person. Then where's the question of being a psychic? Similarly, if I have to say, Moon and Mars, this makes a person very active. In Hindi we call chanchal, chanchalta hoti hai usme. There's a restlessness. And Mars is also sexual energy and energy. So when mind and energy is meeting, that is where you cannot really say that a person is psychic. But depending upon the nakshatra placements, a person can be. The prominent placements are Rahu Moon, Sun Ketu, Sun conjunction Moon, a person born around Amavasya. Then we've also got Sun Moon Mercury, Mercury conjunct Moon, Venus Ketu at times, because again Venus is bhogi and Ketu is not. There's a sense of desirelessness in a person for all the bhog. Okay, and then the person takes a sannyas, renounces. And when the person renounces, and Ketu is in fact, it's associated with Lord Ganesha, right? And who is Lord Ganesh? Lord Ganesh is an absolute gem of a writer, messenger. He's He's such a he's a supreme god, right? If I have to talk about him, then basically I'm talking about Ketu, and Lord Ganesh and Ketu are the same. So coming back to why I was talking about Rahu and Sun, in retrospect, now that I'm ending with the Rahu and Sun thing, I just want to end it for once and all. That's because Rahu and Sun can give you good abilities depending upon the nakshatra. Let's say if Sun is in the in your natal chart, if it's in the nakshatra of Aries, it's in the nakshatra of Ashwini, I'm sorry, which is very Ketu prominent, and Rahu also sits there, and your the flavor of your Sun is like that, you know, that you are a very you have a sense of energy in you, but that energy is detached, which is so good. That's why Sun exalts in that zodiac belt where Ashwini nakshatra is there, that is of Aries. That's why Sun also, if you see the Leo sign, it has a nakshatra of Magha. So because that's the actual capacity of a king, to have everything but not be so attached by it, right? Same goes for when Sun is in Sagittarius. It's in friendly sign, and that's where Moola is. So Moola, I just call it Moola nakshatra. So that's a little bit about, you know, how Sun with Rahu can also make you psychic. Depends upon a lot of other things, and that's why in astrology we should not be quick to judge, because if we are quick to judge, then we have lost the entire game actually. That's the one of the most prominent things I would like to say. Like for instance, if you're too quick to judge, or if you're judging the book by its cover, which is the Lagna chart or D1, then the game is over. You need to look at the D9, which is the Namash chart. You need to look also at this extremely important chart, which is Chalit chart. And I don't even have a need to say that we need to check moon chart. It's the first thing that should be checked after the Lagna, I would say. But the true dignity of the planets actually is understood by Namash only, right? So that's that. Thankfully, it's not that it's not that sunny anymore, and wow, I've got such a good view behind my back. Just continuing because it's a long video. Coming back to the psychic energy, psychic means that you are intuitive, you understand somebody's psyche even though you don't have their date of birth or whatever, no palm, nothing. It's not even face reading, it's not even aura reading at times. To be very honest with you, it's just like you get to know about something all of a sudden. You just get to know about it. It can be through a dream, it can be through like it can occur to you at any point of time, either through a dream or whatever. And this is where I want to come at, that then suddenly it can make you feel like an attack, because just like all of a sudden you are in one zone, okay, and you're happy and all of it, or maybe you're sad and all of it, and suddenly you get to know about this thing that maybe a baby is going to be born soon, this person is going to be a mother. And I mind you that even when people do not have these conjunctions, they still have come out to be psychic at some moment in their life, and you can give credit to their dashas for it, or you can also give credit for the transits that take place. So just want to be clear that if you've ever experienced the same thing but you are feeling as if no, okay, but I have never had this thing, so I don't have this placement, but I've experienced the psychic attack. That may be the reason that you may be going through a dasha which is so which is taking out all your subconscious memory or abilities from the past life, your talent from the past life. Maybe you were because Mercury does that to people. Whenever Mercury dasha comes, people become interested in the hobbies that basically were their hobbies in the past life as well, because third house, natural problem solving abilities come in the Mercury Dasha. I would also like to say that, you know what, Moon will do that to you if you have a psychic mind naturally. If not, then let it be. But Moon Dasha usually makes people intuitive in my so far understanding. And why I say so is because if you see, Moon becomes very activated, and Moon is the mind, and the Moon is, you know, changing the zodiac in every 2.5 days and all of it. So it's very fast. So the impact of the Moon, so if the person is the antenna, the receiver, then the signals are quite fast. That's how I can explain it to you. Okay. Ketu of course does that to a person. Rahu also does it to a person. Now Rahu is often very deep. It's a defamed planet. All right, let's be very honest about it, because there are genuine reasons to it. Why it is so defamed. Okay. But I would like to just be very genuine and open about this thing, that Rahu is that entity which essentially drunk the Amrit, okay, from the churning of the ocean, the nectar. So it has abilities, alright, and that's why Rahu becomes the king of the demons, all the demons. So can we deny that Rahu doesn't have any ability? Rahu does. Now it's a very dark energy, and it's an energy like any other energy that needs to be tamed, because we've got to understand that if you have, let's say, if we are talking about a planet like Moon is the mind, so mind can run wild as well, right? So why not Rahu? Why not desires cannot run wild, or what? They will, like every coin has two sides to it. So we need to be very, first of all, respectful towards these planets. We need to be very respectful towards these energies, these Rahu, Ketu and all of it. These are just name of those energies, and we need to be very, very respectful with them. And we need not be quick to judge either the planet, the energy, either the planet or energy. And then when it comes to astrology, I mean, even if you have a birth chart in front of you and you are studying it for last 10 years, there would still be so many things that you would not be able to, you know, comprehend. Still so many things would be missing. And that's where also free will comes, because the dasha is running. You've got some things in your hand. Some things are predestined. So this is a very vast thing. Just want to be very clear about that. I was talking about psychic attack, right? Now let's say if you have a psychic attack, or you keep having these psychic attacks, and you're not interested in astrology, or you're just a normal person who's getting this, this is going to happen and it happens, and this will be happening and it will happen, and you know, even funnily you like in a sense, like if you have a humor and you say things out of humor and that comes out to be true, and you don't even know, then somewhere or the other, you know, you've got a, it's just like you are that FM radio, and your frequency level is high. You're able to, you know, get in touch with the receiver. You don't even get to know that you get in touch, and somehow you're able to tune in. If that is the case with you, then the only thing that helps you is acceptance. It's not the only thing, don't worry. Don't be like this key, okay, I was watching her video for so long just for this thing, and she's making us a fool by saying just accept. No, it's not just that. You need to, of course, have acceptance that, you know, this is happening to me and it's happening for the good. There is nothing in this life that is happening for the bad. If that was the case, then maybe, you know, you must have taken birth and you wouldn't be watching this video, like you must be somewhere else. in some other form, and the energy that we call God or whatever, he or she wouldn't have given you this opportunity to work on yourself, which is life. I hope that makes sense. That's why these energies are for the good. And here's something that I want to tell you. Besides acceptance, you can also maintain a journal wherein you just write. She's back at it. You just start writing about your feelings. And that's why, because writing is done to understand ourselves. So when you begin to write in your journal, or you begin to whatever, wherever you write, it doesn't matter, but when you begin to write, you begin to understand yourself, you begin to understand your thought process, your feelings, and your take on this, which when this psychic attack of a situation or scenario happens, you are not able to write. This is the reason when you write, it's going to make a lot of sense. You'll be able to know, okay, it was just the radio getting tuned in, I got to know about it, and there must be a reason why I got to know about it, and now I should just let it go. It's an ability and it's not a disability. The only reason when someone is afraid of something is because maybe that person doesn't understand it in its full capacity, right? So you then write so that you can disassociate with the event and how it made you impact and how it impacted your mind. And of course, relaxation helps a lot. Yog Nidra helps a lot, because got it. Because whenever we are in a situation, we are not aware of this, whatever that we have inside of us, we really don't attach to those things, but trust me, they have an impact on us. So when we do Yog Nidra, we are able to relax ourselves, we are able to go into deep sleep, and whatever it is that we need to process, we are able to process that in the sleep itself. So it doesn't come up and bother us in the daytime, in the time when we should be working and all of it, or doing whatever that we do throughout the day. I think with this I have completed this much, at least. What are the conjunctions that make a person psychic? What we can do if a psychic attack comes? What is a psychic attack? How it feels to be a psychic? Who is a psychic? Two things I would like to say: that in the month of April, like till 16th May, till the morning of 16th May, don't try to make any decisions, because the ego is boosted. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't make any decisions. Just relax and think about whatever decision you want to make post 16 May and onwards. Another thing that I would like to say is again a tip, because Mercury is right now in Aries and retrograde, whatever, motion, and especially in the Gandanta. Please, for the next few days, and whenever Mercury comes in such situations of Gandanta points, don't interact with people unnecessarily. Only when it is necessary, only it is an absolute necessity, then go ahead and make contact. Well, this is nothing to be afraid of, to be honest. Why I'm saying this is all because Aries is an aggressive sign, and it's a sign of survival, and when Mercury goes there, we are communicating for survival, and in the initial Gandanta points or the ending Gandanta points just have a lot of karma. It's a Gandanta means a karmic toy, so that's why we need to be careful. That's all. It's not something else. And the last point that I wanted to speak in conclusion of this video, because this video is extremely long, but because I don't post a lot, I am very active in the community section, but when it comes to this thing, I don't post a lot of videos regularly. like it's not the consistency like I'm posting in every 3 days or every 1 week, that consistent, right? So I would like to just say this for once and all, that when your psychic conjunction gets aspected by a planet which is benefic, like if it's a moon, or it's a Mercury, another benefic, Venus. See, benefic means they're not doing much harm, sort of a planet by nature, default, that is the thing, that's why we call them this. So when all of these, even Jupiter, then a lot of your psychic abilities are already balanced. But there has not been one person whom I saw that okay, they are psychic and they have this benefic aspect. That does not mean they don't, have anxiety, or they don't have panics, or they don't have an attack or something. They will have it, but there's a sense of guidance, like a natural guidance, like guru is the teacher. And you can only imagine, like when you try to do yoga without a teacher, how lost you feel. So these guys, they get that sort of a guidance even from Venus, which is again a guru, but a different kind of a guru. So on and forth. But what we need to understand, in conclusion, again I would like to say this, that it doesn't matter if any beneficiary is not aspecting this placement, because of the reason that we cannot fight whatever we've been gifted with or whatever we are given, and we should not fight, and we should not try to analyze what is wrong and what is right. If there is no benefic placement or the aspect on this psychic conjunction, this just simply means that you're good on your own. But definitely you need to balance the energies properly. You need to balance this stuff properly. You need to be responsible about it. A little more is responsible about it than, if the benefic was aspecting it, then it would have been a different scenario. Maybe the guidance would have come naturally. Maybe all of it would have, gone smoothly. But now here, you need to seek that guidance. You need to get it. And the only way you can get it is by enhancing these benefic planets then. So, going forward. So, that's it from my side. It's a long video. But I hope it made sense, because this is a topic that I don't know how many people have talked about. At least I wanted to be the one who talks about it along with the people who have talked about it. Okay, so it's time. I should go now. The sky is quite beautiful. I spent some time alone here in the garden, and I'm going to spend some more time alone here in the garden, and then I'm going to go to my home. And yeah, it's good that I'm finally posting something. So you'll see this video soon, and until next time, bye, take care.